Ever stumble across a bike so good it feels illegal not to tell someone? These machines don't make top 10 lists or go viral, but the riders who own them know. While everyone else chases overpriced hype, these hidden gems sit in classifieds, unloved and unbelievably capable. And the best part? Nobody talks about them. If you're done with the usual lists, buckle in. This is real deal motorcycle gold. Starting at number 23 is the Honda CB500X. It's the Swiss Army knife of motorcycles. Lean, mean, and ready for whatever. Daily commute? No problem. Weekend escape up a mountain road? Let's go. That 471cc parallel twin hums with quiet confidence. Not screaming power, but smooth, usable grunt. You can ride it like a sport bike, tour like an ADV, and park it like a scooter. It sips fuel like a monk. Over 65 mpg in real-world riding. Tallish seat, upright bars, and long travel suspension give it adventure bike vibes, but without the weight or ego. This isn't a poser ADV, it's actually rideable, for new riders and old pros alike. It's also Honda. That means bulletproof reliability, low maintenance, and parts available everywhere. Tons of used ones float around for under $5K, barely broken in. While Uptown Dealers hypes the latest 1000cc monsters, this beast just quietly works. No flash, no flex, just function. The CB500X won't win the parking lot, but it'll win your heart after 10,000 miles. A true hidden gem, yet stupidly underrated. From modern versatility to a forgotten four-cylinder that refuses to fade quietly. Next up at number 22 is the Suzuki GS750. This is the do-it-all bike that never gets old. It's cheap to maintain, easy to repair, and incredibly reliable. The Suzuki GS750 is what happens when function meets forgotten fame. It came out swinging in the late 70s, ready to battle the mighty CB750 and Kawasaki Z1. But somehow, it slipped under the spotlight, and that's your gain. This bike is vintage without the drama. No temper tantrums, no chasing rare parts across eBay. Just an air-cooled DOHC inline 4 that runs like a clock. It pulls smooth, sounds glorious, and handles better than you'd expect from a 40-plus-year-old bike. Looks? Timeless. Clean tank, round headlight, chrome in all the right places. Whether you keep it stock or cafe it up, it earns double takes at gas stops. It's also a wrench-friendly machine. Carbs are accessible. No rocket science involved. This is the kind of classic you can actually ride, not just polish. Price? You'll find good examples for under $3,000. That's absurd for a bike with this much history and soul. While collectors drool over the usual suspects, this one waits quietly, ready to fire up and fly. Underrated? No. Criminally underrated. Now let's crank up the tempo. Think British, beautiful, and born to corner. Number 21 is the Triumph Daytona 675. Every twist of the throttle feels like electricity. The Triumph Daytona 675 delivers pure mid-weight magic without shouting about it. That 675cc triple engine hits the sweet spot. Torque down low, scream up top, and a soundtrack unlike anything else on the grid. Flick it through corners, and it responds like it's wired to your brain. It's sharp, agile, and dead serious about speed. But here's the thing, most riders skip it. Why? Because it's not wearing a Japanese badge. That means it gets overlooked and undervalued, which is wild, because this bike punches way above its price tag. You can score one for $3,000 to $6,000, depending on condition, and that's a steal for a bike that's beaten 600cc rivals in pro racing. You're getting track-capable suspension, excellent brakes, and race-winning DNA, all wrapped in a slim, aggressive package. And that iconic triple growl? It doesn't just sound fast, it feels alive. You'll walk in many dealerships to find the best fit, but his machine is sitting pretty in classifieds, waiting to be discovered. Call it underrated, call it forgotten, but once you ride it, you'll just call it perfect. Hold on to that Union Jack, we're trading high-speed thrills for slow-burning charm. Number 20 is the Royal Enfield Hunter 350. Priced from just $2,900, this little thumper brings big charm. The Royal Enfield Hunter 350 is what happens when retro meets real-world riding. It's not trying to be fast, it's trying to be fun. perfect for city streets, back road wanderers, or first-time riders who don't want plastic rockets. It's light, low, and ridiculously easy to ride. The 349cc single thumps along with just enough grunt to keep things interesting. Maintenance? Almost none. This thing is built like a stone axe, air-cooled, analog, and refreshingly simple in a world full of screens. That means no nonsense, fewer things to break, and more actual riding. Looks? Chef's kiss. It blends classic British vibes with just a hint of street style. Vintage, but not cosplay. Where most modern bikes scream, the Hunter nods coolly and rolls off. For under $4,200 brand new, it delivers more style per dollar than bikes twice the price. It won't win drag races, but it'll win hearts at every stoplight. Quietly confident, massively underrated. This isn't a budget bike, it's a statement bike that just happens to be cheap. You liked retro? Wait till you meet Italy's idea of timeless cool with a sideways twist. If you love great rides at a bargain, hit like, subscribe, and share. You might just find your next dream bike. Let's keep going. At number 19, we have the Moto Guzzi V73. Few bikes blend heritage and charm this effortlessly. The Moto Guzzi V73 looks vintage, feels modern, and rides like nothing else in its class. It's air-cooled, shaft-driven, and uniquely Italian. In all the best ways. That 744cc V-twin rumbles with character. It's not about speed, it's about soul. Each twist of the throttle gives you real, raw feedback. Low seat height makes it super approachable. Cruising through town or carving a lazy back road, it just feels right. Handling is smooth, stable, and surprisingly confidence-inspiring. For $4,500 to $6,500 used, you're getting premium fit and finish. And thanks to shaft drive, maintenance is minimal. No greasy chains or constant fiddling, just gas and go. While most retro bikes are style over substance, the V73 walks the line perfectly. Classic gauges, round headlight, and that signature transverse engine. It's instantly recognizable, yet somehow it stays under the radar. Maybe because it's not Japanese. Maybe because it's not loud. Either way, it's a massive win for anyone who finds it. From soulful classics to a surprisingly sharp bite from an unexpected player. Coming in the 18th spot is the CF Moto 300 SS. I know you've probably heard of the beasts by CF Moto. They also have a few hidden gems. Enter the 300 SS, a beginner sport bike with real bite. Sharp styling, modern tech, and a price that feels like a typo. You get a full-color TFT dash, LED lighting, and a slipper clutch. Stuff you don't expect under $3,000 used. And that 292cc single? It's more fun than it has any right to be. Snappy in traffic, smooth in corners, and surprisingly chill on the highway. Handling is tight and confidence-boosting. It's light, flickable, and looks twice its price. Perfect for new riders who want to look fast and learn fast. Still, it gets overlooked. Why? Pure brand bias. But at $2,990 used or $4,599 new, the value is unreal. You're getting near premium features for entry-level cash. Add in strong build quality and eye-catching design. You've got a sleeper hit. Next up, a blast from the past with chrome, carbs, and character by the crate. Number 17 is the Kawasaki Zephyr 550. Everyone knows the Ninjas, but ever heard of the Zephyr? Sounds like a cologne. Rides like a classic. While Kawasaki's sport bikes steal all the spotlight, the Zephyr 550 chills quietly in the corner. Vintage, smooth, and criminally slept on. It packs a 553c inline 4 that sings like a 70s rock band. No electronic wizardry, no ride modes, just pure analog joy. Twist the throttle, feel the smooth surge, and grin like a kid. Styling is straight out of a time machine. Round headlight, twin shocks, simple gauges. It's retro done right. And somehow, it still looks cool without trying too hard. Perfect for relaxed rides, weekend cruises, or even daily commutes with some vintage flair. It is also easy to wrench on, easy to love, and it won't drain your wallet while doing either. At $1,800 to $2,500 used, it's basically a time capsule you can afford. Rare? Yes. Impossible to find? Not yet. But once people catch on, the price won't stay low for long. The Zephyr 550 isn't loud, flashy, or famous. It just rides beautifully, like a bike should. Sometimes the coolest Kawasaki's don't wear ninja suits. Old school vibes out. Now let's talk Bavarian bulk that bulldozes back roads. Number 16 is the BMW R150 GS. To find a German badge at $3,500 to $5,500. And no, it's not a miracle. The BMW R150 GS delivers rugged adventure cred without wrecking your wallet. Built like a tank, rides like a couch, eats miles for breakfast. That 1,130cc boxer twin is a torque-happy workhorse. Smooth, grunty, and made to go the distance. Whether it's highway, gravel, or some forest road you accidentally took, it handles all of it. Forget the fancy screens and rider modes. This one gives you old-school adventure with proven reliability. No fluff, just function. Yeah, the newer GS models are flashier, but they're also twice the price, and packed with tech that screams expensive repairs. Maintenance? Surprisingly simple if you're handy, and it's got the bulletproof rep to back it up. Riders who've owned one, they don't shut up about it. While the crowd sleeps on it, this Bavarian beast just keeps rolling. Quietly, confidently, endlessly. If you want adventure on a budget, this is the loophole. Moving on to number 15 is the Yzdi Road King. If you see it, you might actually think it's a Kawasaki Ninja 300, but once it fires up, you'll know it's a Yzdi. Loud, odd, totally charming, and criminally underrated. The Road King isn't about refinement, it's about raw two-stroke soul. That 246cc single screams like it's late for war. It smokes, it shakes, it makes you feel something. And then there's the lever. One lever for both kickstart and gear shift. Yes, really, it's as weird as it sounds, but that's what makes it unforgettable. Built in India, loved by rebels, and worshipped by a cult following. It wasn't just a bike, it was a statement. Ask any old-school rider in India. They'll tell you stories. You'll find one between $1,500 and $3,000 used if you're lucky. They're rare now, but worth the hunt. Restoring one is like resurrecting a forgotten hero. It may rattle your bones and demand patience, but it pays back in grins and head turns. If you're into weird, loud, and full of character, this one's a gold mine. Not perfect, not polished, just pure motorcycling mischief. From wild and weird to smooth and surgical, this next one is all class. Number 14 is the Honda VFR 800. Under the sleek sport touring body lies a V4 Symphony, a true successor to the legendary VFR 750F, and it shows. That 781cc V4 engine is buttery smooth, linear power, deep growl, and just enough attitude. It's not aggressive, it's confident, glides on highways and carves corners with grace. Built for riders who do distance and speed, comfortable enough for all-day rides, capable enough to keep up with sportier machines. Timeless styling? Absolutely. It doesn't scream for attention, it earns it. Clean lines, single-sided swing arm, and that signature V4 hum. Used models go for $2,500 to $4,400, which feels like robbery considering what you're getting. Reliable, practical, and oddly underhyped. Why is it underrated? Maybe it's too good at everything. It doesn't fit a single label, and that confuses the hype crowd. But those who know, they really know. If you want a bike that flies under the radar, but over-delivers on every ride, the VFR 800 is your quiet powerhouse. Call it the sleeper agent of sport tourers. Smooth, smart, and secretly lethal. You've heard of its louder sibling, but this one, it's the quieter rebel with street smarts. Number 13 is the Yamaha FZ6. It borrows its heart from the Yamaha R6, but dials it back just enough to keep things sane. Still quick, still rowdy, just a little more grown up. That 600cc inline-4 loves to rev, but won't punish you in stop-and-go traffic. Perfect blend of weekday practicality and weekend fun. No need to crouch like a ninja to enjoy it. The chassis is nimble, the seat is kind, and the upright bars make long rides easy. It's a bike you can live with, not just stare at. Used models run from $2,500 to $5,000, and that's wild for this level of performance. It won't win a spec sheet war, but it will outrun most expectations. Why it slept on is simple. It's not flashy. It's overshadowed by the race-ready R6, but most riders don't need track-level drama. This is the sport bike you can actually enjoy every day. No backaches, no overheating, no constant shifting. Just twist and smile. At number 12, we have the Bule XB12X. This isn't your average ADV bike, and that's the point. It breaks convention with a roar and a wink. At the heart is a 203cc air-cooled V-twin that hits like a hammer. Twist the throttle, and it lunges forward with raw fury. Torque comes in thick and early. No waiting required. The design? Let's call it unapologetically strange. Fuel lives in the frame. Oil chills in the swing arm. Exhaust snakes underneath. Wheelbase? Compact and twitchy. It looks odd, but handles tight and rides even tighter. The chassis is razor sharp. Suspension is plush, but purposeful. It devours twisty roads and soaks up sketchy trails. It handles like a sport bike, but rides like an adventure bike. The best of both worlds. Brand collapse made it invisible, not incapable. Riders who get it, they don't just ride, they preach. The XB12X rewrites the rulebook with a Sharpie. It's got Harley DNA, sport bike manners, and mad scientist charm. It's part Frankenstein, but with charisma, most bikes can only fake. Heads turn, questions follow, and when it rides off, it leaves echoes. And the price? Just $10,500 to $4,000. That's laughable for something this bold, this capable, and this rare. From wild child to well-tailored outlaw. Next up, an Italian with a sharp tongue. Number 11 is the Arilia Shiver 750. Rarely does a street fighter this refined fly under the radar, but the Arilia Shiver 750, most people don't even know it exists. That's wild, because it rides like a dream. You get a 749cc V-twin with real bite. It's torquey, responsive, and sounds downright angry in the best way. Add ride-by-wire throttle and multiple power modes, and suddenly you're piloting tech normally reserved for pricier machines. Handling is razor sharp. Ergonomics? Just the right balance. It feels planted in corners, playful in traffic. Brakes are strong, suspension is tight. It's pure fun. So why is it so overlooked? Simple. Arilia didn't flood the market. Limited dealerships and lack of promotion kept it in the shadows. But for those who've ridden one, it's a secret weapon. The design is sleek, aggressive, and proudly Italian. You won't see 3 of them at every stoplight. And that's part of the charm. You'll find it for $3,000 to $4,500. Unreal value for a Euro-built machine with this much attitude. Forget the usual naked suspects. The Shiver does it differently. Quietly, confidently, and with a whole lot of attitude. Feeling sophisticated? Good. Now strip it back and meet the working class warrior. Number 10 is the Suzuki Bandit 1200. You'll find it lurking in classifieds for just $2,000 to $4,000. That's pocket change for a bike that can outrun your ego and still take you grocery shopping. What's under the tank? A detuned version of the legendary GSX R100 engine. Air oil-cooled, rock-solid, and loaded with torque. It pulls smooth from low revs, doesn't beg for attention, and shrugs off miles like it was born for the grind. It's not flashy, not exotic, and that's exactly the trap. People overlook it because it seems too normal. But behind the plain clothes is a torque-happy monster with the manners of a gentleman and the biceps of a bar fighter. It is comfy to ride, easy to fix, and parts are everywhere. Think of it as the blue-collar bruiser. No frills, no flexing, just pure ride full of goodness. If you've been chasing speed without selling a kidney, this is your backroad missile. The Bandit 1200 doesn't shout. It just blows past you while you're still looking at the brochure. From refined muscle to raw rally madness, this next beast shakes more than your expectations. Number 9 is the KTM 640 Adventure. Priced for less than $5,000, you're looking at a true desert weapon disguised as a budget dual sport. The KTM 640 Adventure doesn't purr, it growls. It's tall, it's loud, and it shakes like a jackhammer on espresso. This is not your soft, sanitized adventure bike. It's got rally DNA, towering suspension travel, serious ground clearance, feels more Dakar than Starbucks. Built when KTM still made bikes that scared you a little. The 625cc single hits hard down low. Simple, carb-fed, air-sniffing power. No touchscreens, no modes. Just grip, rip, and hold on. Surprisingly light for an ADV machine, and tough as nails off-road. It'll cross a country or a mountain without breaking a sweat, but you might. Sure, it's raw. That big thumper buzzes like a beehive, but that's why it's cheap on the used market. And that's exactly why it's a hidden gem. Most buyers are too soft for it. But if you want a bike that laughs at trails, skips over rocks, and leaves GPS routes behind, the 640 Adventure is your dirt cheap ticket to real-world adventure. Don't catch your breath just yet. The next one is sleek, shrill, and straight-up addictive. Taking the 8th place is the Triumph Street Triple 675. It howls like a banshee and flicks like a feather. The Triumph Street Triple 675 is a scalpel in a class full of sledgehammers. Yet somehow, it's still flying under the radar. Lighter than your average sport bike, more upright, way more fun around town. You don't need a track to enjoy it, just a decent back road and a mischievous right hand. The 675cc Triple is a masterpiece, smooth where it should be, snarling where it counts. It builds power like a sport bike but delivers it with street smarts. The exhaust note alone will give you goosebumps in traffic. Everyone chases the Daytona or the 765, forgetting where the magic started. And that's good news for you. Because in the used market, the original Street Triple slips through the cracks, often between $3,500 and $5,500. Agile, raw, and stripped of nonsense, it's the definition of ride-it-everywhere performance. No fairings, no fluff, just throttle, lean, and grin. If you want a bike that feels like a troublemaker and handles like a dream, the Street Triple 675 is the best-kept secret in naked sport bikes. Let's tone it down, just a little. Now meet the shapeshifter that does everything right. Number 7 is the Kawasaki Versus 650. This Kawasaki lives in a strange middle ground. Not quite ADV, not exactly a sport bike, and that's exactly why it's brilliant. Priced around $3,500 to $6,000, you're getting a unicorn. Something that carves twisties, commutes with ease, and won't flinch on a gravel road. Most folks skip past it because they don't know where to place it. Big mistake. The 649cc parallel twin is tried, tested, and bulletproof. Plenty of usable torque, light clutch, solid gearbox. It's built to take abuse. And ask for more. Ergonomics are upright and all-day comfy. Wind protection? Way better than expected. Whether you're chasing sunsets or just late to work, it delivers without fuss. It doesn't scream for attention, but it earns respect where it matters. On the road. Riders who own one rarely let them go. Call it misunderstood. Call it underrated. Just don't call it boring. The Versus 650 is the quiet overachiever in a room full of posers. Number 6 is the Honda NT700V Doville. For $2,800 to $4,500, you're getting a shaft-driven, pannier-equipped, wind-protected machine built for real-world use. Commuters, mile-eaters, weekend tourers. This made for grown-up riding without the drama. The 680cc V-twin hums with smooth, usable power. Nothing flashy, but always reliable. You won't outrun sport bikes, but you'll outlast nearly everything else. And when it's pouring rain and you're warm, dry, and carrying groceries in the built-in panniers, who's really winning? Call it boring, but miss the brilliance. Maintenance is minimal, ergonomics are spot on, and the weather protection? Full-on cocoon mode. It's like a Honda Civic on 2 wheels, only quicker through traffic. Nobody lusts after one, which is great, because that keeps prices low. While everyone else chases hype, the Doville just gets the job done, day in and day out. It's not thrilling, it's not trendy, but it's everything a smart rider needs, hidden behind the most dad energy fairings you've ever seen. Number 5 is the Kawasaki Ninja 400. For around $5,487, you get a lightweight, fast, and reliable machine that doesn't ask for much, the Ninja 400. It's cheap to buy, cheap to insure, and won't leave you stranded with surprise repair bills. This thing is built like a tank in a sport bike's body. No rattles, no leaks, no weird vibrations. Just pure, smooth performance every time you twist the throttle. Maintenance? Easy. Oil change is needed once a year for most riders, and if you do it yourself, it's barely $50. Compared to a Ducati or Harley, that's spare change. And don't let the 400cc engine fool you. Sure, on a straightaway, bigger bikes will leave you in the dust, but when the road starts twisting, that's where the Ninja 400 eats them alive. It's light, flickable, and grips the road like it was built for it, because it was. It even has a built-in eco mode, letting you know when you're getting the best fuel efficiency. But let's be real, when you're having this much fun, who's watching the fuel gauge? It's fast, it's fun, it's reliable. Yet somehow, it's still overlooked. Number 4 is the Yamaha XSR700. Blends past and present with zero effort. You're getting that same brilliant CP2 engine found in the MT-07. Torquey, bulletproof, and full of character. The best part? Most people skip it for the MT, which means less demand and more deals. You'll find clean examples between $4,500, $6,500, sometimes less if you're patient. Handling is nimble, power delivery is grin-worthy, and thanks to its light frame, you can throw it into corners like a hooligan. It's smooth, responsive, and surprisingly chill on longer rides. Unlike the flashier bikes, this one doesn't scream for attention, but once you notice the brushed aluminum, round headlamp, and flat seat, you're hooked. It's modular too. Strip it, cafe it, or leave it stock. It's the quiet assassin of the retro class. Stylish without being loud, capable without trying too hard. And the reliability? Pure Yamaha. You're basically riding a modern classic, just with fuel injection, ABS, and none of the carb headaches. A proper all-rounder with soul, speed, and serious cool factor. From retro curves to quiet precision, this one's a hidden scholar of the sport touring world. Number 3 is the BMW F800 ST. Forget flashy, forget loud. This is quiet brilliance on 2 wheels. A proper sport tourer that doesn't scream for attention, just quietly does everything right. You'll find clean units for $3,000, $5,000. And at that price, it's shockingly competent. Belt drive means zero chain fuss. ABS? Standard. Panniers? Integrated. Even heated grips in most cases. Built to go the distance without going broke. The parallel twin is smooth, reliable, and returns great MPG. Not aggressive, but plenty responsive, especially for long days in the saddle. Still, many ignore it. Why? No RR badges, no superbike drama, just a clean, lean ride that doesn't need ego to shine. It is smart, steady, efficient with a few surprises under the suit, perfect for the rider who actually rides, commutes like a champ, eats highways for lunch, does weekends without breaking a sweat. And the best part? Most sellers are mature owners who've babied theirs. It's not a status symbol, it's a smart choice. That makes it rare, and that makes it gold. Getting close now. Ever met a twin that talks like a classic and walks like a sleeper? Number 2 is the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. Not every bike needs to be packed with tech. The Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 keeps it simple, classic, and fun. It's no frills, no gimmicks, just pure riding. For $5,000, you get a bike that looks straight out of the past but runs like a dream. It has spoked black rims, tube-type 18-inch tires, and even a center stand, something modern bikes rarely offer. The dual horns are ridiculously loud, and the old-school sweep gauges give it that retro charm. Sure, the LCD display is tiny and there's no clock, but who needs a clock when you're having fun? This 648cc twin isn't about speed, it's about the ride. It lopes along at 75 mph, keeping things smooth at 5,000 RPM. The 270-degree crank gives it a relaxed, thumpy feel, and 90% of peak torque kicks in just below 2,500 RPM. It's not a high revving machine, but that's the point. The joy is in the ride, not the rush. It's smooth, reliable, and full of character. No fancy tech, no unnecessary extras. Just a classic motorcycle experience at a price that's hard to beat. And finally, what if I told you the name everyone knows still has a secret worth shouting? Number 1 is the Harley-Davidson Sportster 883. If you've ever wanted a Harley without the hefty price, this is it. The Sportster 883 is the cheapest and lightest Harley you can get. And at $8,991, it's a solid deal for a legendary name. This bike is pure Harley DNA, low, mean, and built to last. It's been around forever, shipped in huge numbers, and remains a go-to for budget-conscious riders. Whether you're upgrading or getting your first cruiser, the Sportster 883 makes an excellent entry point into the Harley world. Performance? No complaints. The 883cc V-twin runs all day at 75 to 85 ampere without breaking a sweat. Push it, and it'll hit over 100 ampere with ease. It's not the fastest Harley, but it's dead reliable and gives you that classic rumble and torque riders love. Yes, oil might weep from the rocker boxes, but that's an easy fix. And let's be honest, owning a Harley without a little character just wouldn't feel right. Now you know where the real value hides. Ride smarter, not just flashier. And if you're hungry for more deals the industry doesn't talk about, don't miss 20 cheap hidden gem motorcycles dealers don't want you to know.